All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock. What is your name? And you have two podcast shows. Tell us the name of your shows.
Yeah, my name is Sean Douglas, and I'm the host of Create, Launch, Monetize podcast and From No Worth to Self Worth show. And one's a business show, one is a motivational, inspirational, just all about self worth and self love. So,
Oh, that's super cool, man. Let's talk about the money side, right? Because you have a show focused on monetization. Give us some tips there. Like, how do you make money podcasting? Because I'm sure you get that question all the time, right?
all the time. What I've done actually is I've built a pretty big speaker business, and I've used my podcast to do that. So if I want to speak at a conference or if I want to get in on something, I'll just interview the host or the organizer of that event well in advance. Like I already know well in advance that this is going to happen. And so I basically interview the organizer. We talk about the event. And then when we get offline, I'm like, wow, that sounds like a really cool event. I was like, I speak on business or I speak on leadership. If you need any other speakers, and they're like, oh, okay, well, here's the application. And here's it. Cause I already built a rapport with them. I already had a conversation with them. I brought them into my world and I'm promoting the event.
Yeah.
Also, as a podcaster, there is PodFest, which I speak at every year. There's Outliers Podcast Festival that I am a part of and speak at every year. Then there's Indie PodCon, Indie Pods United. There's a whole bunch of podcast events where podcasters get together and they're always looking for speakers. So as a podcaster with multiple shows, and I sold my radio show that I created in 2017. I sold that in 2021 after 476 episodes. And so I speak a lot about how you can sell a podcast. And that's a way to monetize it as well. So I sold that show, created two more, and now I co-host a third. So it's just, this is my world. This is my life.
Yeah.
And then
I'm actually looking to, I've sold the podcast show too. And people are like, what? You could sell a podcast show? I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah.
We're actually looking to buy some podcast shows. Let's talk about that. How do you sell a podcast show?
Okay. So in order to sell, you would have to figure out, based on downloads, based on subscribers. Inside of your show notes, you have all of your links to your guides, to your workshops, to everything, right?
Yeah.
And there's a way that you can track, like let's say you use Chartable. So Chartable is a way that you can track like how your show is doing. You have tracking links that your show has. You can then put it in different spots. There is a way that you can see like, okay, I know that this sale was made from this show. And then based on how many sales you get from your show, that's how many, I don't know, how many dollars or, whatever the cost, whatever the valuation of that is. Plus, not only that is some people, you'll have like a free link. Hey, join our email list, join our, whatever. And then you'll see like this person clicked on your link and then, you built an email list and you can see every week it's growing. So what you do is you look at your email list, you look at the monetization of your email list combined with the monetization of the podcast, because you're always going to put a link in there to sell a guide, to sell a course, to something, right? Mm-hmm. How much does the podcast make? How much does your email list make? Combine those together because you're going to sell the whole email list. All of your email list is going to go. All of your subscribers, everything's going to go, right? All the branding, everything. This is how much the podcast makes me in a month. And it could be a speaking gig. If I get a speaking gig from the podcast, how much money did it bring? Like any money attributed to that, boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool. I think that's fascinating because a lot of people, they're like, I'm going to start a podcast show and I want to be on your show. And you did a good job about setting up branding and all this stuff. I've had so many people come to me and they go, how about I just buy yours? Or why don't I just be on your show? And then I was thinking, I was like, why don't I just sell this to you? And they're like, yeah, we don't want to start something. We want to take something and grow it. So let's do this, man. For people who want to learn from you and to, dive into your podcast show, what are the names of your podcast shows? One more time.
Okay. Create, Launch, Monetize podcast and From No Worth to Self Worth. What people should actually do is buy pod-faded shows. That's what they should do and reinvigorate them.
So good. And to do that, they can go to check out your shows, learn about this and how to do that. And yes. Guys, listening in, podcasters and potential podcasters, I hope you enjoyed these shows. We try to do this all under 5 minutes. Have a great day.